and one of Britain's greatest ever boxing showmen and world champions, is Naseem Hamed. He's kept a fairly low profile in recent years. Delighted to say he joins us on Sports Week. Naseem, good morning.
Good morning, how you doing?
We're doing good. It's a long time since our listeners have heard from you or even seen you in a ring. What are you up to these days?
Well, I'm just chilling. I've been just really happy bringing 3 beautiful boys up, bouncing boys that have been fantastic, and I've just been enjoying life and relaxing, to be honest, and playing golf. And
you live very near a golf course, don't you? Are you as good at golf as you were in the ring?
No, I can't really say that. I can't really say I was as good as I am at boxing. Golf is a very, very technical sport, and it needs a hell of a lot of time, and it's very time-consuming to be very good at that game.
Listen, you're only 35 years of age now. It's the age where Joe Calzaghe was almost blossoming and winning all those titles. You've been out of the game for 7 years. Did you feel you might have left a bit too early?
At the time, I didn't think so, but then looking at it a few years later, I think that I did maybe hang up the gloves a little bit too early. But to be honest, you know, nobody really ever knew the real truth why I did step out of the game, and it was simply because I had hand trouble. You know, my hands could not take the power that I generate. The bones in my hand could not take it, and every single fight, before every fight, I used to have cortisone injections just to take away the pain for when I did punch. And after every fight, I used to have my gloves ripped off with scissors simply because my hands was that big coming out. There was big as balloons, and the hand trouble that I had was ridiculous. And basically, you can't go in a ring and know you've not got no ammunition. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I came out, because I just kept having hand trouble.
Nevertheless, in recent years, I've heard stories, Naz is coming back, Naz wants to fight again. How genuine were those stories, or are those stories, and do you still miss it?
I miss it a lot, because at the end of the day, it was a huge part of my life. I did it for over 21 years, from the age of 7 to the age of 28. And boxing's within me, and I love boxing. And what can I say? I believe, you know, I miss boxing a lot, and I believe boxing misses me. But if you know that, you know, your hands are quite brittle and they can't take what you want to give them, there's no use considering going in there and thinking you can do damage what you're supposed to do. I mean, I believe I was one of the hardest punching featherweights that ever lived. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be going back in there knowing that I want to punch as hard as I can and know that my hands are just going to be hurting all the time. So, but listen, if it was up to me and my hands were fine, I'd love to come back. I really would.
You've got 3 young boys, haven't you? Would you encourage them to take up the fight game?
Well, we're teaching them how to fight, and I don't mind them training and knowing about boxing. As far as competition as an amateur or a professional, no, I don't recommend it to my kids. I think I've done enough fighting for the whole of my family for generation upon generation.
Now, Muhammad Ali was a hero of mine. You're a fair bit younger than me, Naz, but I believe you were with Ali in Manchester. Personally, I've seen the pictures, and I feel very, very saddened by the whole Ali troop really going around this country. What are your feelings about Muhammad Ali now?
Oh, a little bit similar to yours, to be honest. I mean, he's my biggest boxing hero that I've ever had. And I just think what he brought to the game, nobody brought, and he's on a platform of his own. But to be honest, I've really been saddened upon all of this. I just don't see why one of the greatest athletes and most colourful ever lived has to get on a plane with Parkinson's disease and fly all over the world for money. I think it's absolutely, disgraceful. It's terrible. And what can I say? I mean, I'm sad about it. I actually went to Manchester. I was in his hotel suite to see him. I saw him 8-9 years ago when he came in 2000, and I could make conversation with him. He knew who I was. I had a good laugh with him. I've got more pictures with him than my own father. And to be honest, when it came to visiting him this time, he didn't even know who I was. It was just so sad. I mean, I was sat next to him. He's just a shell of a man that he was. And it's just so sad that a man this ill, you know, has to be shipped about from place to place for money. I just think it's terrible. And what can I say? I mean, he should be at home. He should be in care. He should be looked after. You know, the whole world does not need to see Muhammad Ali at such his worst points like this. The whole world shouldn't see him. You know, he should stay dignified and at home in care and whatever, and just people looking after him. But it's not. This is not the case.
Okay, Naz. Let me just before we have to leave, I just want to talk to you about two current British fighters. First of all, about Ricky Hatton. Do you believe that Ricky Hatton should fight again?
Well, I can't really say whether I think he should or he shouldn't. It's all within Ricky's mind of whatever he wants to do. Simply because Ricky's been there, he knows what he feels. I knew at the time when I was coming out of the game what I wanted, and I wanted to spend more time with the kids, and I wanted to bring the kids up. And thank God I've seen every year of their life, and not a lot of fathers get to see that. Do I think Ricky can do it again? Yeah, I think Ricky can fight again. And I don't think it'd be a problem. I think he could be world champion again. Ricky he's a fantastic guy and a fantastic fighter, a great fighter, and there's no fighter that exists that draws more fans than him. So they absolutely love him, and they probably want him to fight again, but it's all what he wants to do.
And Amir Khan, world champion, less than a year after being knocked spark out. That is a remarkable comeback.
It is a remarkable comeback. He's done absolutely fantastic. You know, I give Amir my stripes. He's fantastic. What can I say? I mean, the guy came back from getting knocked out to beating the only man that beat me. And I do say to people, if I only use my head a little bit more clever like Amir did.
That was Mr. Barrera, wasn't it? Listen, you've used your head very well this morning, this interview. Naseem Hamed, we appreciate you talking to us. Thank you very much indeed.
No problem.